a good Sunday to you. Welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. Alongside Rodney Nelson, I'm Jim Byers. Thanks a lot for joining us. We've got 9 races today. Fast track, firm turf, beautiful weather. It's 92 degrees. Right now, perfectly clear skies. And Rodney in for Rick today. You guys switched air shifts with Rick doing a rare evening performance on Friday, so it's good to have you. Let's get right on to the action. Very competitive races. We were talking about that before we came on. Races with a lot of contenders. The first race, I think there might be a vulnerable favorite in here. And the vulnerable morning line favorite, I think, is Sparkly. We'll see how that works out. $5,000 non-winners of 3 claiming fillies.
Yeah, I thought Sparkly, I picked the horse second because I really like Quicks. You know, Quicks is a horse that we've seen out here 3 different times at Lone Star over the past 2 years. And this horse is quick, and there's no doubt about it. Last time out,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, won the race last time out by 2 3/4, right up there toward the front. I mean, if you look at the last 5, 6 races, this horse is out there. You see lots of 1s and 2s. I think Quicks can get the job done today. I got Sparkly second. I mean, solid horse here. Last time was in for the $10,000 tag. Drops down here for $5,000. You see this horse did have a third-place finish up at Oak Lawn just back in March. Has been running in some bigger races. So we'll see if Sparkly can get up and hit the board. And then I got number 3. She's a small-town girl as my third choice. Coming in here fresh off a win at Delta Downs. We'll see if that translates into another good run for her here today.
You know, the thing about Sparkly, I mean, Asmussen's barn is on a great roll right now. This mare really needs the drop. I mean, she went to LAD middle of this month and just turned in a pretty dull effort for $10,000 non-3. Now she goes in for $5,000 non-3, assuming between LAD and here, those levels are probably about the same. You're looking at fillies and mares that have won 2 but haven't won that third race. That was a dull effort last time by her, in my opinion. And then those Arkansas-bred races at Hot Springs, those were for higher tags than this, but she just hasn't been real competitive lately. Now, maybe the drop. You know, she did have a really nice non-winners of 2 win here last year, about a little over a year ago. I think she's vulnerable. Quicks was hard to load last time, so watch how she loads. If she loads nice and calmly today, that may or may not be a good sign, because last time she was hard to load and broke very, very sharp. So she was ready to go and then just drew clear and ran very nicely. I think she's sharp, so I'm sticking with her. On to the second. Second race is a Texas-bred first-level allowance, 3-year-olds and up. These are non-winners of a race other than a maiden claiming starter or trial, or those which have never won 2 races. And the 5 passed over is scratched. Now the horse getting in on that non-winners of a race other than condition, rather than the non-winner of 2 condition, is the heavy favorite, Barry Mischievous, who has 5 career wins. And the others, most of them have just won 1.
Yeah, 5 wins already as a 4-year-old. Not bad at all, including one last time out over our racing surface, going 5 furlongs. So I'm looking for the J.R. Caldwell double here. Just like Quicks, Barry Mischievous, quick around the racetrack. It's a short race, so I think this horse gets up for the win. Number 1, Curly's One Thing. That's going to be my second selection here. Horse comes in here off a maiden-breaking win last time out over our racing surface. Pretty impressive there, won by 6 3/4 lengths. So look good in that race. We'll see how that translates here to facing the winners. And then I got number 2, Shop Time, as my third choice here. You know, this horse picked up a stakes win down at Sam Houston in February, won the Jim's Orbit. This horse, you know, has been running in some bigger races. We'll see what Shop Time has. I think it's a kind of a question mark here because, you know, 2 out of the last 3 races, this horse has been beaten bad.
Yeah.
And even the most recent one was a 5-length defeat. But it was going a little bit further than this, so cutting back in distance. I don't know. I'll give Shop Time up there in the top 3.
He's the only remaining 3-year-old in the field after passed over scratched. And Shop Time did face older horses last time, and he was a bit of a long shot. And the winner of that race, Battalion Leader, was very impressive and won off kind of by himself. Shop Time was kind of in the mix there for second, third, and fourth. But he's facing a tough one and very mischievous. I mean, the Beyer Figs surpass the par number that they expect a horse to run in order to win this race at this level. He's been consistent. I see no reason to really go against him. Of course, you have heavy favorites all the time that don't perform, but I think he's the one, to go with in this race as a win pick. 6-iron is intriguing to me because Mindy Willis has put some really nice works into this horse for his first race in 2 months. And 6-iron has some really good speed. So in this 5.5 furlong race, he should be quite forwardly placed, I would think. On to race 3 out of 9 today. The third race is a mile on turf. It's a non-winners of 2 claimer, $20,000. And scratch the also eligible out of here, number 13, Expo City. He won't go, so that leaves a big field of 12.
All right. I think we're both on the same top 2 here. Hamlin, the number 6. That's my choice, your choice as well. Last 3 races, this horse was running in some allowance races. Had a good one back at Remington Park. Actually had a pretty good meet at Remington Park last year. Hamlin was able to pick up that maiden-breaking win on the turf, going 1 mile, followed that back up with another 1-mile race where the horse ran second by a neck, although that was off the turf. But Hamlin, I think this could be the horse to beat here. I'll take the 6 on top of the 2, Tyler's Turn. This horse was in for $25,000 last time out. Ended up running third in that one. Wasn't a bad race. That was on the turf, so I like that this horse had a most recent race was a grass race. Ran well in that one. Is cutting back just a little bit of distance from that race. And then I got number 10, Uptono Buena, as my third choice here. Last 2 races for this gelding, both of them were on the turf. You could look 5th last time out, a 2nd before that, missing about 3/4 of a length. Both of those coming at the $25,000 price. So I'll give it a shot. 6, 2, and 10 here in race 3.
Yeah, I mean, we're the same on the top 2. I mean, Hamlin started with the Phil D'Amato barn, who I think he's primarily based in Southern California, but he does run in the Midwest as well. A couple years ago, this horse ran in Kentucky for D'Amato and then in SoCal. But since he's gone to Diodoro, Hamlin's been very good. I mean, he got those 2 sharp races at Remington, totally tossed that muddy sealed track race at Delta last time. That doesn't fit with these performances at all. He likes the turf. I think he's the logical one here. Tyler's Turn, by the way, is a first-time gelding. The 2, Tyler's Turn, a first-time gelding. He came from the clouds last time in that race that featured Baker Hayfield. Quality Style puts blinkers on for J.R. Caldwell and tries the turf after being on the dirt. Quality Style, I think, is one of these that he seems to like the turf. And then Scouser is another one to look at. You mentioned Uptono Buena. He's a horse that's tried the turf the last couple times and been reasonably consistent. I think if the favorites should falter here, there's any number of them that could run second. Race 4. This is kind of your guess is as good as mine, to be honest. This is a tough one. Bottom level, $7,500, non-winners of 2 claimers going 1 mile, race 4. No scratches, and this is a toughie as far as I'm concerned.
I thought it was a little bit tough. That's why I landed on a horse with a morning line of 8-1. Yeah. Give me the one on the outside and Mucho Macho Cam here. We're running at $10,000 today. If you look 2 starts back, this horse had a race for the $10,000 tag. Ran second in that race behind the next out winner, so I thought that was a pretty good one. Moved down to $7,500 last time out. Another runner-up effort for Mucho Macho Cam. But this horse does have a lot of experience, 30 different races so far. I think this one can get the job done today. After those 2 runner-up spots at this 1 mile distance in the last 2 races over our surface, I think it's a logical play there if you're looking in a race this wide open, right? Straight away, the 7, that's going to be my second choice. This horse was in for 10 last time out, ran third in that race. Was beaten by 8, so the top 2 ran away from straight away there. 3 starts back, this horse did pick up a win. It was a fairly recent win. Just happened back in April at Sam Houston. So I'll give the horse the benefit of the doubt there to be running well today. And then I got number 4, Missing Rocks, as my third choice here. Last time out, this horse was beaten bad, but I mean, if you're beaten by 37, you probably just packed it in, I would imagine.
Exactly.
But, I mean, if you look at the 3 races before that at Oaklawn Park, another couple double-digit defeats there. So, and then won by 7. So, I mean, the horse was facing better competition, I would imagine, at that higher level and up there at Hot Springs. So, I mean, this horse could run well today, there's no doubt, but I don't know, kind of a question mark there. I don't like seeing horses getting beat by that many lengths in 3 of the most 4 recent races. Anyway, 8, 7, and 4 is how I see the 4th here.
Sometimes you look at a horse, and Missing Rocks is one of these. You respect the connections. You respect the overall body of work. I mean, he broke his maiden at Remington. They thought enough of him. He's a New York bred to ship him to New York for a restricted stakes race in the New York Stallion Series. He was up the track there, so they brought him back into this region. He's never competed very well at Oaklawn. And you could say, you know, is it the competition? Some horses don't like that surface. That dirt surface is not to every horse's liking. Boy, I mean, if you've ever seen a horse that needs a drop in class, Missing Rocks is it, because his form lately, even considering the good fields at Oaklawn, I mean, I don't know how much better their non-2 fields are than the fields here, to be honest. So I'm passing on him entirely. He's the morning line favorite. I think he's vulnerable. I think Eligio, while he's in a much better spot, the number 1 horse, having dropped way down, I think he's going to be too short a price for me to play. So I'm going to go with Citizen Barrett, number 5. This horse, last time out, had a little bit of trouble. Well, in fact, I think had quite a bit of trouble at the 3/16. He was bothered. He had to check off heels. He actually looked like he might make a much better finish than where he ended up, but just got stopped really hard at the top of the stretch. He might have been making a run. On the other hand, he might have kind of been plodding along, but I think he was making a little bit of a run. Not to say he was going to win it. That alone is enough for me to pick him, that he showed a little bit of oomph there. Empire Ranch makes a lot of sense. Blinkers on. You know, 2 races ago at Will Rogers was bet down to 1-10, won that race, and then followed up at Will Rogers, was 5-2 and didn't do much against non-winners of 2. So, straightaway has a lot of speed. I don't know who goes with the 7 in that race. He could lead for a while. Your horse is at least fairly sharp, Mucho Macho Cam, and sometimes in these races, that's all it takes. It's just somebody who's going well.
Yeah.
On to the 5th. But those are good betting races, because there's lots of chances in there. These are fillies and mares. They're all older fillies and mares, and they're all non-winners of 4. That's one of the conditions here, except number 4, Cueca, who is a 5-time winner. The others are all non-winners of 4 in on that condition. 6.5 furlongs.
I'll take number 2, Veronica's Delight. 8-5 on the morning line for Veronica's Delight. You know, this horse was a winner last time out, so I respect that. Came over in Phoenix at Turf Paradise. You see in the last 4 races, I mean, this horse has hit the board in all 4 of those races. So I do like that recent win. We'll see what happens with Veronica's Delight. I got the 7, Our Pirate Treasure, which is going to be a fun one to announce, I would imagine. I would love that. I'd have fun with that. You know, kind of like that Asmussen horse in the last race. Last time out was well beaten, but a little bit different before that. I mean, this horse picked up a win at Oaklawn, had a couple 4th-place finishes. Even looking back to Remington last year, had a pretty decent meet there. You know, this horse does have a win at the distance as well. So, I like Our Pirate Treasure here. And then I took 8, Worth Considering, as my 3rd choice here. You see in some of these races, this horse has been able to jump up there and get in front. This horse was at Gulfstream Park back in February, ran 4th there, had picked up a couple wins at Gulfstream before that as well. So I think Worth Considering is definitely worth taking a look at here in race number 5.
This race starts to pick 5. It's on the final 5 races each day. I'm with you on Veronica's Delight. That last race at Turf Paradise, it was almost 3 months ago, but boy, was it a sharp race. It earned a really high buyer. And since then, Wade Rarick has been putting some really nice works into this mare. They haven't stopped on her and quit training her. She's worked really steadily. She's clearly the one to beat for me. Lottery Ticket, steady diet of first-level allowance races for her trainer, Domingo Chacaltana, has been lighting the board in those races, all sprints. Now drops into a $10,000 condition claiming event. Pretty good drop for her, so I would keep an eye on Lottery Ticket. Cueca, Oklahoma bred, second off a layoff. You mentioned Our Pirate Treasure, Arkansas bred. Every once in a while runs a really good race. So yeah, pretty much everybody in here you could envision doing something positive. Let's move on to the 6th. Race 6 is the start of the pick 4. It's 5/8 of a mile on the turf. Let's make sure here. We do have one scratch. The main track only, number 12, Mayor's Music, will not run. Another nice big field here. These are optional claimers. You could be in for $75,000, or you could be a non-winner of 2 lifetime.
Yeah, good race here for this one. Sprinting on the turf. You can see a lot of these horses in here, there's about half of them don't have any turf experience at all, or very limited turf experience. So I don't know how big of a deal that is, but I ended up landing on some horses that have recently run on the turf. Number 2, Spring in Paris. That's going to be my top choice. Looks like this horse is going well. Back in February at Sam Houston, sprinted on the turf, won a race there. Had the next one in March, also down there in Houston. Ran a good second in that one. I think Spring in Paris could be the winner here. Number 3, Charlie's a Rockin'. That's going to be my second choice. This one's here fresh off a win at Sam Houston last time out. Ran well in the race before that, just missed by a nose in that race. If you look, the last two races, both of them were at a mile, so now cutting back to a sprint here. I like that move. And then I got number 6, Hidden Map, as my third choice here, dropping out of those races at the fairgrounds into one here. I mean, this horse did break its maiden sprinting on the turf back in December, so we'll see what Hidden Map's got. Give me 2, 3, 6 in race 6.
Always have to respect those fairgrounds turf runners, as Rick Lee always says, and you can see Rick's picks on page 6 of the program, that fairgrounds winter turf racing is really strong. Oaklawn doesn't have a turf course. Sam Houston has good turf racing, but fairgrounds draws horses from a little bit wider field, and they don't do winter turf racing in Kentucky at Turfway Park. So Hidden Map having some pretty good form out of fairgrounds figures in there. I somehow didn't work her into my picks, though. I like Spring in Paris, like all of us do. Has run 2 really nice races. The career debut, I think you got to toss that. That was last fall. I'm not too worried about that. But as a 3-year-old, she has developed, run 2 really nice races. She's been off a while, but Asmussen's been training her here regularly. I like the Asmussen trainees that stay here. No particular reason. It just hits my eye better instead of having a horse ship, let's say, to LAD, which he has a very successful all-time winningest method of doing things. But I like to see his horses run here that have trained here. So I'm going with her. Kiss My Dice, boy, you can't be much hotter than her. I mean, she's won 3 of her last 4. She's one of the non-turfers that has never been on turf. 6 of the 11 in here have never been on turf. Kiss My Dice, though, has been so sharp. I mean, she doesn't have a big turf number in the PPs, but and for Caldwell, his percentage, as good a trainer as he is for putting him on turf, is not great, but I don't know. I still think she could be really tough in here. On to the 7th. Texas bred maiden fillies in for a $7,500 tag. 7/8 of a mile is the distance. And here in the 7th race, boy, we got a 5-2 morning line favorite in Swift Like Taylor that, boy, I see you're going with her.
I'm taking Swift Like Taylor.
You know, the drop might be the thing that finally does it for her. I swore off of her a while back. That's to my detriment, though. Sometimes I swear off horses and they circle right back around and beat you when they get to the right level.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this is a better. The drop's going to help this horse out. I mean, you look way back in January at Sam Houston. You see this horse was in for the $10,000 tag. Ran well in that race. I mean, finished second, was up there toward the front. So at the $10,000 level, the horse ran fairly well. I mean, even in the maiden special weight back in the middle of March, finished as a runner-up there at Sam Houston. Last two races have been here at Lone Star, subpar, I guess you could say. But that drop, I think, is only going to help out Swift like Taylor. So maybe she's finally get the chance to get up and graduate today. Number 5, Purely Dialed In. That's going to be my second choice. You can see this horse didn't really care for Sam Houston, beaten by double digits all 3 races down there in the Bayou City, but came over here to Lone Star Park and ran a good second. So learned that DFW is better than Houston any day of the week. So Purely Dialed In, came here like North Texas. See if this one can't put together another good race today. And then I took the outside horse, Speaker Baby, number 10, as my third choice here in race 7.
The thing that helped Purely Dialed In, last time she dropped from a maiden 20 to a 7,500, it could very well be she didn't care for the surface at Houston, but she also was running against Texas-bred better maidens there and now drops in. She ran a really nice race. The thing that concerns me about the 5 is that, she had what looked like a pretty solid chance to win deep stretch last time and got nailed right on the wire. It was still a good effort. Now she's got to go 7/8 of a mile, really demanding distance. I don't know if she's going to love that, but I'm going to try Cuvées Bella Rose. She's a 3-year-old. There's a lot of contending 3-year-olds in here, so I wouldn't worry too much about the fact that they're facing older runners. Cuvées Bella Rose, Danny Pish trainee, tumbles out of the Texas-bred maiden special weight ranks. That's a big drop. She's been training okay. She's been off just about a month. Last time was kind of ordinary, just kind of ran around there, but it was a much better field. I'm going to give a shot to her over Swift like Taylor, who's going to find a field she can beat one of these days, and it could be this one. I didn't want to drop her any more than second. And, if Asmussen gets a couple of these horses with sort of in-and-out form, if he gets them home today, he could have a really nice day. He's already made it up to the top of the standings in just a few weeks.
Yeah.
But he's got some horses today that I'm picking against that if they come around and win, he could have a really nice day. On to race 8. 9, Stacy's Princess, a scratch out of the 8th. These are Texas-bred fillies, allowance company, a first-level allowance, a quick 5.5, and as you might expect, 5.5 furlong distance. You got a lot of early speed, a lot of speedsters in here, and I'm going back to the well with Claire's Curlin. You're taking a pick that is maybe a little more logical based on the body of work, but I know you like horses that are sharp. Closing Speaker comes out of a really nice wide margin maiden win.
Yeah, I mean, Closing Speaker, this horse has been getting better every time out. Debuted out here at Lone Star Park in a stakes race last year. Ran 5th in that race, was well beaten. But since that, came back in a maiden special weight at Sam Houston at the end of March, ran a good second in that one, followed that back up with a win right here at Lone Star, leading it all the way in that race. So I think Closing Speaker, off that nice May 3rd win, this horse should be ready to go. I got the 3 Availing as my second choice. 3 out of the last 4 races, this horse ran on the turf. Last time out, got back to the dirt surface, ran a good second in that one as the runner-up. Is going to run on the main track once again, so we'll see if Availing can get up there and hit the board. Then I got number 7, Edge Chaser, as my third selection. It's another one of those speedy J.R. Caldwell horses. One's all the way around in that last race. It was in for the $20,000 tag. I mean, Edge Chaser, get out there in front. Who knows, and contest Closing Speaker to open it up for someone else, but I like Edge Chaser in this spot as well. I thought this was a pretty tough race to pick a winner, but it's going to be a fun one to run.
It's a really good race. I mean, you got a filly in Wits Opulent Lady that broke her maiden like $1 million, and then they had to scratch her here because she wouldn't load in the gate. And then she came out and she's run a couple of dull ones, but she has a lot of talent. Edgemeister had a really nice debut win at Houston. Followed that up in a tough race against Kiss My Dice, who I think has a good chance in the previous race today. Closing Speaker, good maiden winner last time out and is coming to form. Availing has done a little bit of everything, and she has been first, second, or third in 14 of 22. Only a couple of wins. They've tried turfing her long distances. They've tried sprinting her on the dirt. They've tried turf sprinting. She kind of runs the same race every time, but, you know, she can definitely run with these. And the numbers, the buyers back that up. I'm going to go with Claire's Curlin, who I was big on last time. In her debut, she looked like $1 million. I mean, she looked like in 2 or 3 races she could be running against, Too Much Kiki and stakes horses. Followed that up. She was antsy in the gate on May 15th. Stumbled badly to her knees. I mean, one of those stumbles where she went to her knees and then crawled for a step or two. Got up. Tried to compete a little bit while in the back and then chucked it in. So I'm passing on that, or I'm giving up on that try and saying throw that out. On raw numbers, on raw buyer figs, she fits with these. Light on experience. She might not be ready to take on an Edge Chaser or an Availing or a Closing Speaker, but I'm going to give her a shot. I'm kind of surprised that neither of you guys used her at all in your picks. I'm curious if Dave throws her in the picks at all. I mean, that last race wasn't good, but she had a major
I remember watching that.
Start. On to the 9th. Well, I just wrote the word raffle, meaning just take a number and hope. But it's a really good race. Good super high 5 race. We have a carryover today of $4,566. The graphic always comes up at exactly the right point when I didn't write it down. A mile on turf, filly mare allowance, really good field. This is a really good race. I mean, there are a lot of contenders in this race.
Yeah, I went with the horse on the outside, Ninth Island. That's going to be my pick here. Was a winner last time out. That came on the turf right here at Lone Star Park. Won that race by 2 over a couple other ones that are in here in this race today. So I'll go ahead and take this horse coming from the outside. Number 2, La Fantastica. That's going to be the second choice here. Back-to-back wins for this horse. Both of them coming at Sam Houston. Both of them coming on the grass. Both of them coming at this 1-mile distance. A lot to like there. And both those margins of victory were pretty good in those races. So I think this horse has a shot. And then number 1, She Sky's the Limit. That's going to be my third choice. No stranger to Lone Star Park or the distance as well. Horse has a couple wins from 14 tries out here. It's won 17 lifetime, 9 of them on the turf, 8 of them at this distance. Man, there's a lot to like about this one horse. Maybe if some of these other ones wasn't in here, I'd like it better. But yeah, I like She Sky's the Limit here as well. I think it's, like you said, a raffle. It's going to be a fun one.
It's a good one.
Looking for a blanket finish on the way to get out in the week out here in, like you said, at Jackpot Super High 5. This will be a fun race to play that in.
This is a really interesting high 5 race because, anybody could run 5th in this race. I mean, in the average race, it's hard to pick those bottom couple. But, I mean, this race is legitimately competitive for the win. I mean, Rick Lee's long shot of the day is Do You Want to Dance, number 3. Coming back off a layoff, picks up Ramon Vasquez, puts blinkers on. I mean, a couple of years ago, she was an Oklahoma-bred stakes winner in the Bob Berry Memorial. The thing I didn't care about Do You Want to Dance is just, I mean, her form at the fairgrounds was really bad. Now, granted, she's an Oklahoma-bred taking on open company at the fairgrounds in the winter. That's a tough assignment. But she factors in here. I went with maybe Dulcie, another Oklahoma-bred, but she is relatively lightly raced, likes to win races. Carrie Craddock does a great job with these mares that are coming back off layoffs. She has really good numbers off layoffs. This filly was sharp when we last saw her, but she spaces her races out, which she hasn't been out since March, but she's really good running fresh, and she likes this turf course. So I'm going to go with maybe Dulcie. Ninth Island, dangerous speed from the outside. And we've seen horses. We saw one yesterday that Lane Luzzy rode, just gun to the lead and hang on, or try to hang on. Ninth Island is that type. She has a nice win over the course. Talking Katie, by the way, the 7 is back on Lasix. She was on Lasix, didn't run on it the last couple of times of last year. Now she's back on it. She Sky's the Limit. I mean, what can you say about a mare that's won 17 races? I mean, it's remarkable. And then La Fantastica might be coming in off the best form. I mean, she's won a maiden race and a first-level allowance, and now steps into here. So, and that's just to mention a few. So, really good way to wrap it up. I guess we will do it again next week.
That's right.
We've got Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Belmont Day Saturday, early opening. We're going to start the races at 1:05 next Saturday. So mark that down, 30 minutes earlier than usual.
Should be the final Belmont ever run at Saratoga because the new Belmont's going to be opening this fall. So Belmont Day is this coming Saturday, and as Rodney mentioned, 1:05, the first live race this Saturday, and otherwise we will see you Friday at 6:35, or actually an hour before that for the show.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for looking in today. We are 30 minutes to post for race 1. Enjoy your Sunday here at Lone Star Park. In the event of an emergency, Lone Star Park is dedicated to ensuring the safety of our patrons. This video illustrates the proper evacuation protocol from all public locations in the Lone Star Park Grandstand facility. Depending on the nature of the emergency, directions may be altered. Please remain calm and follow the direction of Lone Star Park employees and security personnel. Patrons should never use elevators during an evacuation. Suite levels 5 and 6 have 3 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building and 1 next to the elevators. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Silks Dining has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that are accessible through either the Jockey Club or Paddock Lounge, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, escalators, and buffet. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. Level 2 has 5 stairwells that patrons should use to exit the building. 2 on either far end of the building that are accessible through the Alishiba room and in front of the far west side bathrooms, and 3 centrally located stairwells near the elevators, mustards, and feed sack. Look for the nearest exit sign, follow stairwell signage, and exit the building at track level. The track level has 2 main exits on either side of the grandstand that patrons should use to exit the building. Near the west and east escalators. Follow signage and exit the building. Remember to always exit towards the paddock and never towards the track. If severe weather occurs and shelter in place is issued, all patrons will take shelter on the basement level. The grandstand has 2 stairwells on either far end of the building that extend to all floors. Calmly head towards whichever end of the building is closest to you. Look for an exit sign and walk down the stairs following all signage and security staff instructions to shelter in the basement level.
Hey you, yeah you, sitting and watching the races. Where's your swag? You don't got none. How can you even call yourself a true fan without the genuine article, Lone Star Park swag? I don't think so. Why don't you go mosey on down to the corral on the first floor? They got something for everyone. Gifts, garments, and plenty of other stuff to take a gander at. Now if that don't put a bee in your bonnet, nothing will. Still plenty of time to check out the corral. What you waiting for?
Join us on Friday, June 19th for Silent Disco at Lone Star Park. No more yelling over speakers. Want to chat? Just slide them off and enjoy a conversation without the noise. It's the most social, immersive, and personalized party you've ever experienced. Plus, we'll have drink specials, and you can watch, wager, and win on the horse races. Don't miss it. Star Park at Grand Prairie, your exclusive home for betting in North Texas.
On the outside, sweeping to the lead.
Join us for Dollar Day on Saturday, June 27th, when admission, programs, hot dogs, popcorn, soft drinks, and beer are all just $1 each. Visit LoneStarPark.com/tickets to make your plans today.
The horses are ready. Are you?
DFW's most unique dining experience is at Lone Star Park, and it's called Silks, featuring tiered panoramic views overlooking the racetrack, betting from the convenience of your table, and so much more. Tickets are on sale now for the Thoroughbred racing season. Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie, your exclusive home for betting in North Texas.
Right there down on the inside, coming to the wire.
Join us for DFW's biggest fireworks celebration this July 3rd and July 4th. We'll have live racing, music, family fun activities, and a 20-minute fireworks show choreographed to music.
The horses are ready, are you?
A pleasant Sunday afternoon and welcome to Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. The main track is fast. The turf course is firm. The first of today's 9 races coming up in 24 minutes. Please wager early to avoid the last-minute rush. At this time, if you're able, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the national anthem to be performed by Gazetta Henderson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Gazetta Henderson